What is going on, everyone? Hope you're good. Hope you are well. Today, I have a video for you all that was kind of spawned after my live stream the other day that I had a guest who actually isn't even into fragrances but has found himself a part of the fragrance community. I am talking about Josh Hunt. And really, when I think about the entire cannoli mafia and everything, all the interactions, there's a lot of people that have actually started to enjoy fragrances since we met them. And a big brand that always comes up is Zaharoff. So it got me thinking, not just for the people who actually just watch my channel on the regular, but anyone who may be interested in trying a Zaharoff. Which ones should you try first? So that's what I'm gonna do today. This list is me ranking all of these Zaharoffs, in my opinion, off of my preference, but also off of a mass appealing ranking, if you will. This list will not be including any of these egg creators, as I don't have them all and they're sold out, so they don't really do much justice for you all in regards to being able to pick them up. But I do want to give a shout out to Andrea, to Justin, and to Ross. Andrea from Curly Scents, Justin from Justin Copeland, and Ross, of course, from TLTG Reviews. I am gonna do this based off of when they were released. So obviously the very first one is Zaharoff Signature Royale. This fragrance right here is just classic. Tried and true, over-reliable, a lavender oud, spiced, woody, fresh green bomb, a little bit of everything. It really truly is. I would personally say that amongst everything versatility wise, it definitely has a wide versatility. But for me, in my opinion, when I'm thinking about other releases down the line, I would absolutely have to rank this number 5 amongst the Zaharoffs, just because of the fact that while I love lavender and I love this almost barbershop-esque style that this does have, ultimately I kind of want other stuff to go on in my fragrance. Works great when you're shaved, but overall some people have found the appreciation for this more so after a fresh cut. Other people just love the fragrance as a whole. I do enjoy the fragrance, but I just prefer other things to it. So that's why it's kind of in the middle of the pack for me personally at number 5. But for a consumer recommendation purpose, I would definitely say this is a solid number 3. Coming in at number 2, which technically these both were released at the same time, I am going to say the Zaharoff Signature Noir. This fresh spicy fragrance is just that fresh spicy. It has some of the elements that Signature Poem had, but a much more different take. This is a little bit more woody, has this mandarin pop, if you will, up top, much more pronounced. And it has the emphasis of spice and woods, less going on as a whole, but this is a great fragrance for the nighttime. Can almost be worn year round. I wouldn't recommend it for a summer day, but at summer night it could work. At the very least, spring, fall, and winter though. I would say for me personally amongst the Zaharoffs, I would give this a 6. However, as a whole, like again, if I'm recommending this, this would be my 4th recommendation to somebody. Fire to the ice, the yin to the yang, the peanut butter to the jelly, the shack to the Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe wore purple and gold. This fragrance is gold. This fragrance is Royale. Signature Royale. Slightly musky, mostly sandalwood, apple fragrance. Totally different from Noir and Signature Pour Homme. This fragrance to me is good. The thing is, usually, and not that you don't like either, but usually you prefer to wear Royale or you prefer to wear Noir, even though you'll like both. One usually leans the other way for people. There's a little bit of like florals going on here and slight freshness also, but at the end of the day, this is about musk, sandalwoods, and apple. Somebody does have to be a loser, if you will. My personal feelings towards this fragrance is that this would be ranked at the bottom of the bunch, number 8 amongst all of the Signature Zaharoffs released so far. However, I do understand that people can appreciate this a lot more, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is subjective taste. So for mass appealing purposes, I would absolutely say this would be ranked number 5 amongst the bunch. This fragrance has not only become my favorite Zaharoff fragrance, but also a fragrance that I tend to give as a gift to my closest friends. I will end up buying bottles, almost like how one would give a rose to those that they care about the most. The fragrance that I am talking about is Zaharoff Signature Rosé. How much do I enjoy this fragrance? I got a backup bottle, okay? This is only one of 2 fragrances from the Zaharoff line that I do have a backup bottle of. I don't keep backup bottles as a whole, not just from Zaharoff, but any brand, but I had to do it. This fizzy rose, kind of semi-sweet oud incensey. This is a really great fragrance, completely unAVERAGE when I wear it. I've had some of the best experiences when I've worn this. I've gotten free drinks from Atlantic City wearing this, aside from the drinks that they give you for free for being in the casino. Look how much I've worn in a year. And not for nothing, but as a content creator, that is a lot, considering I have to wear stuff all the time, but I choose to wear this. And I have the backup bottle. Yes, it's going to be my number 1. However, a little bit of an asterisk. Not every person will appreciate this fragrance. First of all, you have to like rose. Second of all, most men as a whole won't want to smell like rose. They kind of appreciate it more on women. So I am marking this number 8, but this is really more so would absolutely be a number 1 for any woman. I haven't met a woman who did not like the smell of this. Let me tell you something. People thought rosé was the crown jewel, the masterpiece, and it is a masterpiece. But that was until November of 2021 when George Zaharoff released a fragrance that really put everyone on notice. A spiritual journey, not just mentally, but physically too, because he expanded a lot more with this offering. You got cigars out of it. You got shave soap out of it. You got Tabac. Arguably is the best fragrance from the Zaharoff line for a lot of people. It is a little bit more versatile, unisex, as long as a woman actually enjoys wearing tobacco fragrances, but this on men is probably the quintessential masculine fragrance. And it is really good. Honey, vanilla, tobacco fragrance, unlike anything else. You're getting star anise, you're getting a little bit of oud, some myrrh. My God, this is good. There's a little bit, just a touch of freshness in here. It is really one of the best balanced fragrances and arguably one of the best tobacco fragrances, completely different from Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille or any other tobacco fragrance that you may have tried prior. For me personally, this is my third favorite, but mass appealing wise, for the masses, this would be my #1 recommendation. While Zaharoff and his perfumer Claude are both amazing artists, and they have a mindset with like visions that can really be the future of perfumery and really just take things to different levels that nobody else has before. They are really, really good artists, but like any artist, some of their work can be a little bit controversial. That is why the next release, this is a part of what I like to call the X-Files, and I might have given it away. We are talking about Signature X from Zaharoff. Musk, clean, juniper, citrus, lavender. A little bit of like incense, myrrh, oudiness, but basically what's the difference between this and Royale? Less woods, more musk, juniper, no apple. It's made to invoke, if you will, a good time after a clean shower in a really luxurious location with your significant other. Yes, there is leather involved. Yes, there is cleanliness. There is dirtiness. That is what you're gonna get out of this. But don't let the dirtiness deter you. A lot of people actually really appreciate this fragrance. This almost even comes off as somewhat of an aphrodisiac. I will say that you don't need the most trained nose in the world to appreciate this fragrance. A lot of people who aren't into fragrances in the same way will appreciate this fragrance. Just ask my cousin and the woman that he took out on a date. With all of that being said, I have to take all of this into consideration. My personal rating, #4. Mass appealing, I would have to give it a 6. At the end of the day, no matter what they do, it will be quality. You know when you unbox it, from the box to the bottle to what's inside, it will be quality. Which is why this next release, even though it's not within my favorite personal genre of just fresh citrus fragrance, I really appreciate it. We are talking about Citrine. No matter what I have to say, this is the best quintessential summer fragrance. Spring fragrance, period, dot. An array of orange, some fig leaf, a little bit of musk in here, a little bit extra woods, some incense. There's a lot. This is not just your standard freshie, completely unisex, great for the spring and summer, high heat, absolutely, invigorating, uplifting, great stuff. All that being said though, I am me. I personally rank this #7. I just said I'm not the biggest fan of just fresh fragrances, so I would have to rank this #7 out of 8. However, when recommending this for a mass appealing audience, it's #2 on the list, absolutely. And last, but definitely not least, is a fragrance that some would say is too explicit for YouTube. In our own ways, we are an artist, which is why when YouTuber I Am Joey Cannoli and George Zaharoff had many conversations during Joey's streams on I Am Joey Cannoli. Y'all make sure y'all check the channel out. What if X had even more raunchiness, more sexiness? And that's where this Zaharoff Triple X came to play. The dirtiest of the Royales. This has a much more pronounced musk than even X, than even Royale. This has a lot more leather, a lot of oud, but at the same time, this is still some good stuff. There is also a high pronounced cumin note in here. So if you don't like body smell, you might want to be weary. This is not for the faint of heart. This is probably the one fragrance that is absolutely tailored for fragrance enthusiasts and or people with the dirtiest minds that also know what they want out of life. For me, this is number 2. For mass appealing, I'm gonna have to put this at number 7. So there you have it. There are my unaverage thoughts in regards to the entire house of Zaharoff. Let me know in the comments down below which ones are some of your favorites. Do you feel the same way I feel about them? Do you feel that maybe you would have ranked others differently? That's the part of a discussion for this. That is what works. This is why I make content, so this way I could not only give my opinion, but I want to hear from you. We are still on the way to 2K, and when I get to that 2K, there will be a 24-hour stream and a bunch of giveaways. So do me a favor, subscribe, stay tuned in, check out the channels that I mentioned throughout this entire collection, and I'll see you all later.